our job, it seems to me, is to open up people to the possibilities of other human realities that they've never experienced and may never really see firsthand except through books and education.
Yeah.
But they are certainly there, and the more you enter into the worlds that other people have created, the more, I think, the more richly you appreciate the world you live in, and consequently also the more you realize how artificial is the world that you live in. And that's one of the big, I think, payoffs, educational payoffs in the study of religion. This goes back to Peter Berger. You begin to realize how not only are other guys' realities constructed, but so is yours. That your reality is just as precarious as everyone else's, and therefore not privileged. And that, I think, makes you humble. And it's supposed to inoculate you against fanaticism. It doesn't always. But I think we're in the humanities, and what is humane about the humanities is the humble respect for the creations of the human imagination, wherever you find them. And religions are the great creations of human imagination. And we all live in some imaginative construction. We can't live without them. And they're all very flimsy.
Yeah.
Every one of them can come apart in a second. Torture is a great example of how to undo constructions of the imagination. If you submit somebody to intense pain, they will, unless they have immense character, they will give up everything that they stand for. And that's why we honor martyrs. Because they represent the willingness to die for the ultimate truth and reality of the thing we all believe in. And but most of us don't have the character to be martyrs. That is, we haven't internalized enough of the tradition. The martyrs are the ones who have internalized the most, and therefore are more willing to give up their life and endure pain for the reality of the thing that they are convinced is real. And the rest of us ultimately fall short. But that's what's interesting about the study of religion. But I'm really interested in people who, in religious persecution. It's fascinating to study because of the people who are persecuted and how they manage that. And if you study the history of Christian martyrdom under the Roman Empire, it's fascinating the joy that people met their deaths with, at least in the way they represented it in literature. They may have been terrified at the moment, but as people walked to their deaths, they held in mind these models of, there's a great phrase, I can't remember which, maybe it was Justin Martyr, I can't remember who it's attributed to, but he said something like, I delight in the thought that as the lions chew me up, I will become grist for the mill of Christ, for the bread of Christ, you know. That's some way to go to death, you know. So those things are incredibly fascinating to me.